Birds falling silently drift on the wind, but I hear you on a journey. Now a memory fading from sight, but I see you unbroken. Promises we made so long ago. You're still here, unspoken. Requiem for a river of tears, flowing, winding toward eternal sea. And yet our hope remains, guiding, lighting the way. No time for morning rises on a land reborn from the ashes. Beneath the heavens to sunset, blood-red skies tranquil after the storm. Blessed shadow turning, wending, always night follows day. The sun will shine again. Walk on, never look back. Through you we live tales of love.
Lexi, thank you for the sub. Got hit in that when it first came in, scared me. Oh my god. Oh, I appreciate it. How are you today? Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully. Is the microphone picking up? Okay, good. I see the mic's picking up. That makes me feel better. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for the sub. Came right out of the gate. I'm doing great. Just coming to show my support. I can hear you fine. How are you doing? I am doing great. Today's a good day. It's warming up out there. It's not as cold out. So it's going to be opening the window season soon. I have a rather weird setup going today for the stream, so I'm like frantically remembering which buttons I have to hit on which place. Brain Boxers is excited about the stream? Fantastic. Fantastic. I'm glad that people are excited about it. This is really just for you guys. Like, if you're trying to stream or if you want to set up a stream, like, this is the time to ask some questions. Sanic! You already know. You already know the best emotes. Don't remember, like, you already know that.
No time for morning rises on a land reborn from
How you doing, Brain? How are you and Mexi's weekends going? Do anything fun, exciting? Lounge around on the couch with sweatpants on? Clean the shower, doing laundry. So spring cleaning, I guess, is starting for you guys. I'm hyped the Sonic Adventure stream reached its goal. It did. Monday, this coming Monday, we're going to do a Mario Party with some friends. And then we're only doing one game of that. And then right after, we're going to be starting Sonic Adventure. So it'll be sometime middle of the stream on Monday is when we'll start playing it. And then we'll play it, obviously, for most of the stream on Tuesday. I'm excited, too. I didn't think it was going to reach max that soon. I was like, oh, I got time. Okay. Thank you guys for showing up. Gonna put on some background music here. Give me just a moment. All right. I think that should be okay. Let me know if that's too loud or too low. So today's stream is for you guys. If you have any OBS style questions or need something answered, I can do my best to kind of show it visually on the screen here. I kind of have my mouse capture too, so you can see where I'm clicking. But if you have a question, feel free to answer or to ask it, and I'll answer it. That's kind of how we're doing it today. So, I mean, chat, the floor is yours. So while I'm waiting for some questions, I'll kind of go through the things that I have set up here. So for me, I have a lot of nested scenes that I've created. These are pretty much like the bones of everything. That way, you know, you get your CPU utilization low because it's not trying to render them each time. It's just taking for what's already happening. Before, when I had them all set up for this, CPU goes up for a while, it'll go back down, then it'll spike back up again. This kind of keeps it all consistent and gives you something that you can reuse. So like I have my alerts set up, the lower thirds, the little pop-up toaster things that come up here every so often that you see. The goal is up there. I have the chat window loaded. The overlay, which is just this border, kind of shows you the border here. And then I have the logo, which is in the background of the chat. Just the one Amber Link made me, my logo that spins. I love it. No idea what any of this. So can you show a quick tutorial on what each does? Yeah, what are you actually looking to see? Is there anything specific they want me to start with? Otherwise, I'm just gonna like going through the stuff that I have set up here. But if you have something specific, I can change gears for sure. He says no specific. He knows nothing. He wants to get into streaming. I got you. I got you. So yeah, I'm just kind of going through what I've set up. Like these are just the alerts. So anytime that something happens, let me open up my activity feed here. So, example, when Bexy came in, did a sub. That's the alert box here. That's this. What's going on, Leo? Welcome in. That's this alert here. This is just a browser source that comes in from another website. What I use is Stream Elements, and I'll kind of go through the Stream Elements stuff in a second. I have the lower thirds here, which is again just a toaster pop-up. This just shows like some information. I see a lot of people that use bots that like here's a toaster right there. There's a little pop-up. Just thanking people for the followers that we have. Something simple. You guys pretty much make this happen for me, so you guys deserve a shout out. But instead, I see people have a lot of chat bots that have timers that send a message in chat. So for bigger streamers, that's okay because you'll get flooded with other people chatting. But for smaller streamers like me, and if you're just starting out, sometimes your stream might be dead silent with no chat, and you have to be okay with that. Like, it's gonna happen. You're gonna have streams where nobody's talking, and you just, you know, just keep going. Like, eventually you're not gonna have that as much. Like, when you're first starting out, you might have like a couple of days where everyone came to see you because it's your first stream, and then you might have a few days after that where nobody's chatting. Can I redeem chicken nuggets? Don't annoy you in doing so. You can. I don't know, will it pop up? I think it'll pop up. Yeah, good. Redeem it real quick, because I don't know if it's going to pop up, because Triggerfire's been having a problem. Yeah, Triggerfire's been having a problem, and it like just started today. Oh, hang on. I think it's up. Hang on, 1 second. 1 second. Actually, I just got the website to come up. I've been having problems with it all day. Okay. Hold that thought. We will redeem it. I do have the Triggerfire stuff on, but their website was down all day today, and I couldn't get it to work. Yeah, it's error authenticating me. So I think their API to Twitch, I think, is having a problem. Let me see. Let me try one more time. Yeah, no. Okay. When it comes up, I will definitely let you know, and you can redeem it. I don't have a problem with people redeeming stuff. I love it. I love. Oh wait, we're going farther. We're going farther. We're connected. Okay. I will redeem it again for you, just so you don't use your points again. So give me a second. Okay. Yep. Now I can re-enable it. I should be able to refresh it, and then now it should work. Someone follow me alert, but the alert didn't pop up. Give me 1 second, and I will. I just want to fix the Dino redeem here. Got 36 seconds. I will redeem it again. Don't worry. All right. So let me see here. Okay. Leo, which how are you doing your alerts? How are your alerts set up? B-Rabbit, welcome in, dude. Dude, your stream was great today. I had so much fun watching you play that game. That game was like legit, looked like a challenge. Stream elements, okay, easy. Okay, let me go to my overlays here, and I will share a different monitor. Okay, 1 second. I did not prepare 100% like I thought I did. So 1 second, main overlay. And then we have, need our game capture, and then we need this guy. Okay. Okay, so you should see my upper monitor now. It should be a bunch of windows. It looks like Master Chief is all over the place, only because that was a picture I chose, and I copied all of these, and I made duplicates of them. Thanks, I did not know I was gonna kick my ass that bad. Yeah, that game looked challenging, dude, but well done for what you've gotten done so far. So Leo, I have pretty much a blank overlay set up here. And what that ends up doing is have a little box here in the side. Hopefully you can see my mouse moving around. This is where my alerts take place, in this box. So I have if you're going to set up a new one, and that's maybe what I should do now. I'll do a new overlay. Resolution. So when you set the resolution, make sure you set it for what your monitor is. So if you're streaming at 720, but your input is at 1080p, so if you're streaming on a 1080p monitor, but you're only streaming at 720, select 1080. It makes it so much easier to set up your scenes. Then you hit start, and in here is where you're going to add your widgets. For this, we want to do an alert box, so that's going to be under alerts and alerts, and now we have our box here. Now in this alert box, it should already have all the settings, like some default stuff here, like follower alerts and things like that. We can emulate, kind of show, like you see it pop up, and then you kind of see it pop up on my screen too. Did that actually pop up everywhere? Yeah, it did. Okay, cool. You guys can see that as well. Excellent. I didn't think that was going to pop up all the way through. Okay, so we see that it comes up here. Kind of has some standard stuff. Now, the reason why you may not see it is if you didn't add it to OBS. And in some cases, if you change your password or something like that, you might have to re-authenticate. So up here at the top, once you get your alerts set up, like make sure these boxes over here on the left are checked. Like if you have this unchecked, again, obviously you're never going to see the alert for it. But once you check it, it'll pop up. Any changes that you make to this overlay in Stream Elements, you want to make sure you save it. So make sure you click the save button and give this a name and then save it. Otherwise, your changes won't show up until after you've saved. So if you're making changes to it and then you're noticing those changes aren't showing up, make sure you save it. Once you're done, you'll hit this little chain link here to copy the overlay URL, and that's going to copy it to your clipboard. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to get out of this display here so you can see this, and I'm going to create a new scene. This is going to be our OBS QA scene. Yeah, if you don't save enough, you don't see. We should have two different overlays or just one so they don't overlap. For which? For your alerts, or are you talking about streaming in general? Like when you're going live, should you have more than one overlay? Alerts. No, I have all of mine. So I'll go back to my actual alerts. I have all of my alerts in one. My alert box is everything. Followers, subscribers. I have the tips turned off because I won't do that. And the purchase alert because I'm not doing merchandise. So these are the ones that I have enabled, and each one of them has something like, you know, a video and maybe a sound or audio. I have all of that in one spot. I don't make changes to it often enough. So usually it's the same thing for a while. Again, like if you have cheer alerts, you might want to do others. There are variation settings here that you can set, that you can toggle on, or you can add your own. So you really don't need to have more than one overlay for that. This is kind of going to go into, and I'll show you as soon as I bring the right screen up because I moved over here. So let me go back a few steps because I forgot to switch the display. So this is my alert setup. I only have one. I don't have multiples for it. This same alert overlay goes into every scene that I have. So you'll see that I have this stuff set up here for like cheers. There's also the variations, so you can set whatever you want. Like what Matty Braun does, when he has the 142 for him dancing in a waffle suit, which is fucking hilarious every single time I see it. This is where you would add that. You would just add the new variation, and you would say start with blank, and then it should be a variation. So you would say 142 bits, and then this will be your parameter, which would be amount. Condition needs to be exact. Your requirement amount will be 142, and then 100% chance that this is going to happen at 142, and then you would set your video or your image to be whatever it is you wanted it to be. And then you just hit save. So I'm going to cancel that so I don't add it. And again, Stream Elements has basic values in there: 1, 100, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000. If anybody donates 10,000 bits to me, I'd probably just keel over and I go in fetal position for a while. But you can also have it set up pick alert randomly when more than one matches, so you can have multiple at the same value, so you can give some variation. And like if you're trying to start a hype train, someone donates 100 bits to you, you can make it so that 100 bit cheer shows up differently each time, or at least has a random chance of being something else. So with this, again, you click the overlay URL, and I did it for the previous one only because I want to show the process for you guys. So in our new scene here, all we're going to do is we're going to add a browser source, and we're going to call this alerts OBS QA, just so I can remember what it is later. Yours could be named whatever you want. For this, when you get to the URL, you're just going to paste in that URL. Again, this is me for testing, so this overlay and all this stuff's going to be deleted when this Q&A is over with, so do not share your, I'm going to say a business term, your production grade browser URLs with anybody, because they can put them into their stream. They can use them whenever they want. There's no real authentication for it, so keep that stuff private. So once your alerts is added into here, once you have the URL in, you're going to go to the width, and this is going to be your monitor resolution. So this isn't going to be where you're going to stream output to. So for me, my monitor is 1080p. This is what I use OBS on, and my scene is in 1080p. What I stream and what you guys see when you're looking at me now is 720p. If you click the little cog icon in the video and try to set the quality of the stream, you see that it says 720. There's probably no 1080p available. But that's only because I don't need to stream at 1080. I'm not like doing video editing or rendering or anything. So for this is going to be your monitor resolution. So width is always 1920 and your height is 1080. That's just standard for 1080p monitors. Unless you got some weird one from, I don't know, third party company or something like that. And that's pretty much it. Like, you want to check the box that says control audio via OBS. This is going to let it pop up in your audio mixer so that you can modify the sound. So in the event that you put a new alert in and it's way too loud to the point where like it's ear bleeding, you want to be able to adjust that on the fly. You don't want to be fiddling around with menus trying to get that to work. Trust me, I know. Custom CSS, I usually delete this. There's no reason, you don't really have to, but in the event later on that you decide you want to do custom CSS scripts, or you want to get into having some sort of automation inside where you program with JavaScript or HTML web pages in there, you don't want this to be running code on top of the code you're trying to have it run, because that'll just cause problems. So the shutdown source and a refresh browser when scene becomes active, you can keep these off because you're going to be using these alerts in every scene that you have, because you want them to show up. You want people to, you want that explosion to come on the screen when somebody follows or when you get a new sub. Like, you want that person to feel like that sub or alert mattered. It wasn't just like, oh, thanks for the sub, I'll see you next month, right? Like, that doesn't make your viewers happy. So everything else you can keep the same. Page permission, just leave this the same. Don't put this to anything else. That just causes problems, especially when I said the first time not to share your OBS URL, like your browser URLs for your alerts and everything. Because if somebody gets a hold of that and they put some malicious code in there and you give this browser source access to OBS, like, they can modify files on your computer and all that stuff, and it's just a headache. Don't do it. Just leave it at read access. And don't share your URLs. Okay, so once we have that set up, we hit OK. And I see that this is pretty much full screen now. In the event that it is not full screen, you can just right click, go to transform, and hit fit the screen. And that will stretch it out to all four corners so that it's all in one spot. You can also click on it and hit Control F. Or if you're on a Mac, it'll be Command F, and it'll fill the screen the same way. Once we have the alerts, we can obviously go and try it out. And we see that our alert pops up. Thank you again, Mexi, for the resub. I'm going to be using that for alerts for the entire stream today. Hopefully that answered your question, Leo. It was kind of a lengthy answer, but I hope I gave you everything. How do you suggest to get the audio to add to the following? Add to the follow and everything. I was having trouble finding specific sounds for them. So... oh yeah, hang tight to you, Reddit. I don't think I fully threw that in. Let's see, triggers. Oh no, you're in. Okay, hang on. So that scene doesn't have the trigger, so give me 1 second and I'll add it. That's actually a good segue. Let me show that. So I have these other scenes added here, right? All these scenes are set up to do a specific purpose. Now they're also modular, so I can take them and put them in any scene I want. Like my main overlay here that I have. Why did that pop up again? Anyway, so all this here is pretty much a piece of a puzzle. And I can use this piece anywhere I want. So if I have this OBS scene here and I want to add those triggers to it, All I have to do is hit add, hit scene, and then take one of the scenes that I've already created, like the nested triggers and stuff, and hit OK. And now that trigger's in there. So what should happen when we go to redeem, because I'm going to do the Dino Nuggies because I've been trying to get this to work all stream, and it's Triggerfire has not been happy with it. There you go.
Make chicken nuggets. That must mean dinosaur chickens make dinosaur chicken nuggets.
There you go, Lemexi. We finally saw the Dino Nuggies that you were talking about earlier. Me and my wife laughed hysterically at this when we first saw it, and I continue to laugh hysterically because I'm a child. But I love TikTok now for some weird reason. I have plenty of these TikTok videos that are in my Discord that my wife sent me that I've been meaning to go through and add to Triggerfire now, so they're fun. I'll be going back to this VOD so I can work on stuff. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, this will be up, and I'll be posting this to YouTube as well. So you guys can watch it whenever you want. It's not going to be, it's not going to be 14 days of being on Twitch and Twitch is going to remove it. It'll be on YouTube so you can watch it whenever. Yeah, I'm on it often. Usually when we're going into bed, my wife will be on her phone for a while and I'll just keep hearing stuff. And then eventually something will pop up that's really funny and I'll have to go back and watch it. Summon Sonic for you, B-Rabbit, because it wasn't there. I will do it again for you so you do not have to use the points. That one actually crafted up myself. Alright, so Leo, your question. How do you suggest to get audio to the add, to the follow, and everything else? That is actually easy. Let me go back to our event here. So everything's handled into on your Stream Elements overlay. So again, if you go to follower alert here, and you have your image, you also have upload sound. So usually they have a sound already defaulted to it. So if you do it in Stream Elements, the sound's already there. You don't have to set it up. But if you want to change it, what I do is I find whatever song I want or whatever sound I want to play. Like if I want the PlayStation startup sound. I think I've used this in the past. I just go and I select it. For me, you'll find something on the internet or somewhere, maybe you have a song that you want to play, and you'll just upload that. So when you go into this menu here for upload sound, you see that there's an upload button in the top right. And you click on that, and then you drag whatever file you want into here. You see the file types that it takes. There's PNG, GIFs for video, JPEGs for images. You have MP3. AAC, which is a Apple QuickTime format. If Amber Link's here, he may be able to give me a yes or no thumbs up if that's right. You have the Wave, which is severely uncompressed. It's the pretty much raw music, and it's very good. Very good file size. Just usually they tend to be larger than like MP3s. OGGs, they are files that usually are coming to like video game soundtracks. If you're trying to rip them from the game itself, usually they're in this format because they're very compressed, but they still sound good. And then WebM, which is, I guess it's not really a newer format, but you don't see it very often, but some people use it because it prevents you from just downloading things directly from somebody else's website. So once you get this stuff in here, like you see, I got a bunch of stuff here. You can kind of upload whatever sound you want. And then once you're in there, they will show up in the sounds tab as one of these things. And then all you do is find what you uploaded and hit submit. And then it'll change over here. And again, you made a change to it. So make sure you hit save. And then for here, we will do the same thing. I am actually gonna see, I think it's doing both. Yeah, it's doing both. Okay, so it's doing both of these. So let me do one thing. So I actually have to change this. If you want to hear your alerts or any other source that you have along with your viewers, you will want to go into your audio properties here. So let me get rid of this display. You'll go in your audio mixer here, right in settings, right click it and go to advanced audio properties. And then you see a list of everything that's in that scene here. If you want to see things that are not in the scene, so maybe you have something turned off, but eventually it'll get turned on, you can uncheck the box here. It says active sources. And it'll show you everything that you have in OBS. Every single thing that could potentially play music or some sort of audio will be listed in here. So for us, we're going to keep our active sources only. And then where it says audio monitoring, you're going to go and set it to monitor and output. So what that'll end up doing is it'll make it so you can hear it as well as see it. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, is it playing music? Well, I can hear it now, so I can tell you that it's playing music, but it might just be too loud or too low. At least you can kind of get that troubleshooting done at the very beginning. Okay, so let me go to where I'm at here and hide the initial alerts real quick. Okay, and then we will do this one more time, so you should be able to hear it. So we need a follow. And there's our PlayStation startup with, in the back of my head, you can see B-Rabbit's face coming in the screen. Could have used this before my laptop broke. Well, now you can use it now because you can start fresh. You can start fresh, Leo. That's the best part about getting new tech, is you can start fresh somewheres. So when I got my new computer, this is a kind of a bad story, kind of a sad story, but funny at the same time because of how it all ended up. I bought this pretty expensive computer because I wanted it to last me for a while, so I kind of spent a little more money than I probably would have normally have done to get this, current generation computer that was going to stream and play video games. Little did I know what the issues actually were going to be when I got this computer, but the computer was locking up a lot. Like the whole computer was freezing, like streams were cutting out. Like you guys probably remember when I first started doing the stream on a new computer, like I was having some problems. Like things weren't working out well, streams were crashing, I was refreshing streams, closing out my computer. I think I ended a couple of streams early because of it. So anyway, not to dabble on in that, but it turns out that there was a issue with OBS that was causing my computer to break down like that. Like there was doing some sort of like memory leak or something. I don't know all the details, but they eventually released a new version of OBS, and this is the one that I posted on Discord recently, saying, hey, you guys should update this because soon this current version of OBS isn't going to be authenticated to Twitch anymore. And sure enough, now you're past that, so you're probably all using the same stuff. The newest version, which I think is 27.2.3, I think just came out with some patches. But anyway, part of the story that's important is that I spent so much time uninstalling OBS, reinstalling OBS, wiping my computer, reinstalling Windows, like thinking that my computer had a problem, and I was trying to figure out what it was. So over the course of that week, I built and rebuilt my entire scenes from scratch, probably 30 times. And each time I did it, I got better at it. Each time I did it, I got more efficient at it. My scenes got better, they got cleaner, they got more organized. Like now I think my OBS is the best it's ever been. I want to say thank you so much for this knowledge and guidance for your giving. Hey, not a problem. Again, I want to be able to give back to you guys, and I feel like this is probably the best way I can do it. Other than just showing up and streaming and playing video games for you guys and talking, but this seems to be something that a lot of you guys want and need. This is something that I could offer that would help you guys a lot. And that's all I want to do. So does anybody else have any other questions? B-Rabbit, Nexi, Brave Boxers, taking notes. Excellent. Again, there's going to be the VOD. It's going to be on Twitch for 14 days until they get rid of it because they hate people. And then it'll be on my YouTube for forever until YouTube shuts down. God forbid. The amount of things I learn on YouTube is ridiculous. Yeah, anybody else? Questions? Something you want me to go over? Anything at all. I am not opposed to any form of OBS questions, stream related or not. No, you're good, Leo. You're fine. I thank you for your questions. It gives me stuff to do. I don't mind just hanging out and chatting with you guys, but I want to be able to help y'all. What are good sites for sounds? There is, so it depends on what sound you're looking for. Well, 1 second. There was one. Here we go. Is this site still active? Okay. So there is a site, and again, I am no sponsor of this. I'm not getting money by them. I'm not getting paid. However, this site here has a lot of video game sounds, a lot of sound effects. Usually how I get sound effects is I rip them from the games I want to use. So like the Sonic 3 sound effects that you see in my alerts, they are all ripped from the game itself. I have the cartridges from Sega Genesis. I've got the backups of them on my computer, and I've ripped out the sound effects for them. And that's what I usually use, but websites like that exist all over where you can just find a sound effect you want, download it real fast, and then you just upload it as your alerts. Usually it's pretty easy to find what you want. If you're looking for things that may not be copyrighted, like obviously video game music is, the majority of it is copyrighted. Even some of the older stuff that's maybe 30 years old probably still has a copyright to it, so be careful. That's the same problem that I think I had one stream where I was playing music from YouTube, like a lo-fi channel or something like that, and I got hit with a couple of copyright stuff, so be careful what you use. Do you have an audio website for anime clips that could be used? I do not. I do not have any websites for that. The one that I posted above, Leo, is pretty much all I have. Again, I usually rip stuff from places that I already own things from, like obviously game cartridges. I can rip things from ISOs from PlayStation and PS2 days. I can rip some music from. I kind of try to do it all like myself in like some sort of like bubble kind of deal. That way I don't get in trouble for it. But that resource that I posted above is probably the best that I've seen so far in terms of like sound effects and things for video games. But if you're talking about anime and clips and stuff, you're best off of just going to YouTube, searching for what you want, find the clip, and then just download it. Or set up OBS to do a recording. So like if you have OBS opened up, and then if I want to record something from my browser, so like I have YouTube up. Let me just do this, and then I can go into here and type in any website you want. So we're doing HTTPS, we'll do youtube.com, and then obviously we'll put it at 1920 by 1080 because that's our monitor resolution. I said 1080, stay there. Control audio via OBS, get rid of the custom CSS like we did, and then hit OK. So now you can see we have a browser page with just YouTube. Obviously it's got nothing in it, which is a blank page with no cache, nothing saved, no logins. And then you have this button here that says interact. This is my favorite part about OBS, is being able to interact with browsers that you have listed. So you hit the interact button, and now you have a little pop-up window. Now what we can do is we can make this pop-up window a little bigger. So we're not in like the early 2000s where monitors were only 20 inches and we're CRTs that were blinding. And now we can interact. We can do whatever we want with this site. So let's say we want to see the Trigun opening, because the Trigun opening is excellent. Now, what we can end up doing is we move this out of the way, and we have this button here that says start recording. So what we can do is we can click this and get it set up, and then wait for the ad to finish, because obviously you're not going to get extensions. How to be able to reset the screen accidentally moved. Hang on 1 second. Skip trial. So we have all this here, right? And we're set up, ready to go. Now what we want to do is we want to hit start recording, and then hit play. And then that's going to play our music along with our microphone. However, we also want to be able to hear it. So we will turn our YouTube, like we said. Now we can hear the music, we can hear audio playing. And we're recording. So now we're recording. And that's all we wanted. Let's say we just wanted that. We stopped recording, but I want to keep playing it because this song is phenomenal and I love this anime as a whole. Probably one of my favorite, probably the #1 anime on my list is Trigun. It is the first one I've ever watched, the first anime I've ever been introduced to, thanks to my buddy Boogie. Love that man. I've watched this so many times, I love it. Can't get enough of Trigun. Boogie, yes, the Boogie, the one and only Brainboxers. The one and only. So, okay, anyway, go back to our YouTube here. Now we can get rid of this. We don't need it, so we delete it. All that's done. So, there are free programs out there that do this. So, remember that there are free programs out there that can help you with some form of video editing to the basic extent. You know, you're not going to be Amber Link quality in video editing based off of some free programs. You can get pretty far in them, but if you're trying to do like Amber Link does with like the amazing effects and the insanity that that man is able to produce in no time at all, mind you, there are programs out there that will get you going. So I will switch over to my big screen here. And I have a program that I like, that I just found, called Lightworks. It's a nice little video editing program. It kind of reminds me of Adobe Premiere, but it's a little, so you can see my chicken nugget girl. Yeah, it saves your project. This is Code Red, another one of the redeems that I have for the channel points. And then Summon Sonic. These are all those things that are kind of like put together and pieced together that have something other than just a video playing. So what we end up doing here, and this isn't a tutorial for Lightworks, but this is kind of to show you how these kind of work. I create a new project. I'm just going to call this Trigun because that's all you really need to know. And then we're going to go to local files here. And in our local files, we want to find where our video was stored. Now for me, I know where that's at. That is in our videos here. So, what's today's date? The 7th? No, today's not the 7th. Today's the 5th. Okay, so give me 1 second. I have to figure out where I threw that video at. Should be in there. I think it's in my other spot. Streaming videos. Oh no, it's here. It's there. I see it. Okay. It's this one, because I'm a dummy. So, we go in, we're going to import the video, and we see it's here. We're going to drag that in. So, this is our video, complete with audio track. Now we're just going to play it. And then hit play. So, we're just going to play it until we find out what we want. So, let it play, go through its thing. Love this opening, by the way. It is flawless. The cat. Always the cat. Cats in every scene. Okay. That's what we want. Right there. We're going to back up just before that comes up. So we want that spot there. Now what we're going to do is we can just clip it. So we click on what we want. We hit C. And it might be different for what you use, but in Lightworks, it's C to do a clip. And then we're going to nuke. We're going to nuke the left side there, because we don't need it. And we're going to keep this. Now, we're going to go back to the beginning, and we're going to play it until we get to the part where we don't want to be there anymore. So... and then we're going to back up a little bit. Even though it's a really cool scene, we want to stop at the end here. Now that we got that, we go back here and we click. And I just think I just lost it, because that's what happens when you don't know what you're doing half the time. So, we're about there. I don't know. I gotta redo that real fast. I know we're close to that. Okay, so that's about the end of the video anyway, so we'll leave it at that because that's kind of a cool ending. So now we have the video set up the way we need it. We have exactly the video length that we want. We want to export it. So all we're going to do is go to sequence 1 here, right click, go to export. And on the free version, you only have a couple of options, but you only need an MP4. So the free version is good enough to do what you need it to. Once you export, you're going to hit MP4 at the bottom here, and then it's going to start. This is a pretty short video, so it shouldn't take long. Now we have it completed. We know where it's at, so we can close out of this. Now in our videos file, let me go to the folder here real fast before I switch over. Okay, so we have our video. This is our sequence that we just exported. And obviously, because I'm an organizational freak, we're going to save this as something that makes sense, so we don't forget it. Now for this, we want to set this as an alert, maybe. We would go back to our overlay here. And this is the one that we're working with. So we want followers to have that new video. So we're going to change the video. We're going to go to upload. And like we showed before, we're going to select the file that we want, which is our Trigun opening. And there it is. It's right here. We'll go ahead and submit that. And then we're going to save it. And now, when we get a follow, you'll see that it'll start playing the Trigun opening right away. It's also going to play it twice because that's what happens. So let me fix that real fast. So we have the browser window open, so you're hearing it twice. But what we end up doing is when we go to our settings here, we go to our follow alert, we remove the sound because we don't need that anymore. We're playing our own sound from the video. And then we save it. And obviously I'm going to close out of this. And I'll go back to my other monitor. You can actually see it this time. And then we'll hit the follow. You see that it's playing and it says that somebody followed. And obviously we have it set like that where you see the whole thing. If we wanted to make this better, then obviously we probably will. We will go to browser here, we'll add a new browser, and we're gonna do the same thing. The only reason why it shows up like that, because we didn't do a really good job, but it was more so just for science of how easy it is to grab something that you want and do it and make it into an alert, which took us literally 10 minutes or less. Again, we have this, we're gonna interact with it. What we're gonna end up doing is when we go to the Trigun opening, the only thing you need to change for it is make sure that you full screen it. Make sure you full screen it and then close, and then you do your recording. So that way when you're done, that's it. You don't worry about it. You have the video without anything in the background, anything around the sides like we did in our alert here. Some learning things, right? You want it to look good, you know, do it once, see how it looks, figure out what you don't like from it, and then fix it the next time. Nothing needs to be perfect the first time, because trust me, I don't do anything perfect the first time. My whole life motto is, I'm going to do it twice, so what's the point? So, you have your alert and stuff, so I'm going to get rid of this browser because we don't need it. But now you have your alert, and yeah, Leo, you'll get it all in one spot, because you're going to be recording it from OBS, which could give you the video and the audio, even if you don't want that audio. So, my process here is, I have a nested scene, which obviously plays music. It plays whatever music I have listed here. John Oath, a really good person. I reached out to him and asked him if I could use his music on my stream, and I use his stuff a lot. Like, you probably heard it before. You probably heard me say his name before, or use his like information stuff in my stream. If you type !music, when I'm playing his stuff, or I know that I'm going to play his stuff, I give him credits in there, and I put them up on the little toaster pop-ups that appear in my scenes. So anyway, enough plug about him. Awesome dude. We need some like awesome classical guitar music to play as like background music for like something peaceful and relaxing. He's got some good stuff. Check him out. So what I have set up here is I have set up all the songs that I plan to play. So if I'm going to play something like this, I will actually, where's my pause button? I'm going to turn off my YouTube that's playing real quick. Okay, so you guys can hear the music playing now, which is, you know, peaceful, relaxing. So what I end up doing is I have my trailer set up like that. So when I do channel stuff, I have the song that I'm going to play in here. And then, so this is next week's schedule, not really a plug on my stuff. You're watching my stream, so I could do what I want, right? I can do whatever I want. So what I'll end up doing is I'll make the scene how I want it to be. So this is how I made my channel trailer. So if you go to my YouTube page or my Twitch page and I'm not online, you'll see like, hey, here's a channel trailer. Kind of like what Maddie Braun has, but Maddie's got one that Amber Lake made leaps and bounds better than I'm going to do. But this just gets the point across. This is just a schedule for me. Like, if you want to know what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to get better at updating it, but it's a learning process. But what I'll end up doing is I'll do the same thing. I'll set up a scene. I'll put my logo in there. I'll put a background. I'll put some text in here, information I want to share. And then I'll start recording. And I'll hit the song. And that's it. I'm just recording what's going on the screen at this point. All you're seeing is this video playing along with the audio that I've selected. So if you want to do it separately, you can. If you want to just have the video playing that's just something plain and simple with no audio and you want to inject your own audio later, this is the best way to do it. There's no, you set it all up yourself and it all works out in one MP3 file or MP4 file. Again, you can change the format through OBS, but now that we have that recorded, we can stop the audio and get out of there. And then obviously this shows up in our videos. All the videos I've recorded on OBS will show up in the spot that you selected. So this is our MP4. And here it is. Here is what we just recorded. Audio and all. All in one spot. And again, it's all free. OBS was free. The music that I got was free. The background and the text and stuff was all free. I made it myself. It took no time at all. So some quick stuff there. And I'm going to delete. I'm glad you're learning. I hope this, when I see you live for the first time, Brain, that I see some cool stuff going on. All right, who's next? Who's got a question? Ask away. I am all ears and I'm only here for you guys. No one's got a question? Did I do that good of a job? That's not the case. I didn't do that good of a job for you guys to not have any questions. Still so much more. Can you overlap two videos to play in one? You can. You can either do it with Lightworks or you can. So actually, a good thing here I can show is if I re-add, so this background that I use is actually a media source. It's just a video file that I have on the internet that I got. All it is if you go to properties, it's just an MP4 that lives on my computer. So this plays, and then if you want to do another video to play, you can definitely add any other media source you want. Want to add media, want to add a new one. So just to kind of give you an idea, I have the the Knuckles spinning animation I use in my, I think it's my intermission, my BRB screen. Just Knuckles spinning around aimlessly off in distance, like you can just watch him spin. Like I'll just make him go over to Rainbow there. Yeah, I got two media sources playing at the exact same time. You can put them on top of each other. Obviously, the order in which you place them matters. Like Knuckles spinning doesn't have a background; it's just him spinning, and everything around him is invisible. If I get rid of the background here, it's just a black background. But if I put the background back on, he's in front. Obviously, if I have him in the back of the background, he's not going to show up for obvious reasons. Transparency playing the effect there. Put him in front. You can play as many media sources as you want in one time. You can even do it so the triggers that I have set up through Trigger Fire is the same way. Like when you go to redeem, so the Knuckles one, because the Knuckles one is my freaking favorite. We summon Knuckles.
Oh no.
You have the media for the audio playing separately, which is his oh no sound effect. And then you have his ring spin. So this is him when he goes and spins. So we have two media players overlapped on top of each other. One's a video, one's audio, but you can use two videos. It does the same exact thing.
Oh no.
And I can just have him spinning forever because this is looped. Just him spinning on a ring. And again, I have the humor of a child, so I find this to be highly entertaining. Let's see. Do I need a cable? Do I need to... What? Hold on, I'm trying to keep. Got it. All right. Do I need to keep stream elements open when I stream for alerts to go? No, you do not. Once you have the browser source URL listed in your scene, this browser source that we added for the alerts, you don't need stream elements open. So I'll show you right now. Here's the stream elements thing that we were just working on. I'm going to get rid of all of this. Close it all out, other than Trigger Fire, because leave that open. But we have no stream elements windows open at all. And our alert will still go off. However, put a background there, so there you go. It is playing, but as you can see by what I just explained, if you have a full playing media source above the list of where your alerts are, like I always have my alerts at the top. I want alerts to be there front and center. I don't want anything to ever be in front of my alerts. So you see Knuckles here in the background, spinning. He is overlaid on top of the background. And then our triggers we'll put under here as well. So when our alerts go off the right way, you see it in front of our background. Because this background is taking up the whole screen, whereas Knuckles is not. So yeah, you don't need to keep stream elements open. Please close your browsers while you're doing your stream because it takes up resources. Another thing you really should have open is your stream manager for Twitch, just in case you need to do something like delay ads or clear chat, or if you want to raid somebody without typing /raid. Or if you want to find somebody to raid, like it's easier to do it through a browser. But I try to keep as many browser windows closed as I can because I don't want to have all that resource space open up. Like OBS is only using 2.3% of my processing power. Obviously, I have a Ryzen 9, I have 12 cores, so my setup might be different than you. So keep that in mind. Like you might be able to have more things open, but if you're struggling to keep your bitrate up, or if your streams are laggy because your computer can't handle all the things you're doing, like try to keep everything closed and find out how many things you can actually keep open to do things. Like I know some streams have where if they're fiddling around with like a web browser or something like that, or they have Microsoft Edge open or Google Chrome and they're trying to like look something up real quick and their stream's glitching out. It's because their computer can't handle everything they're doing. You just keep a note of what you can and can't have open, and then your stream will be better. If you have to use a separate device like a tablet or a phone to look something up, preferably do that. That way you don't have to worry about messing up your stream because you need to look up how many rupees a Deku Shield was in the Kokiri shop, something like that. So if you're having something in the background, like again, you guys keep asking questions, keep going. You don't have to wait for me to finish talking. I'm just kind of explaining some things that I just did here a little better. Background stuff, if you're having like some overlay that you want to play in the background, keep that in the bottom of the list. So the way that OBS works is things go in order from bottom to top. So the bottom most, so in Photoshop terms, layer, the bottom most layer will be the one that's in the farthest back of your scene. So Knuckles being in front, obviously he's on top of the background. Whereas if he's at the bottom of the list, now the background is on top of him. So keep that in mind as you're building your scenes out. Order them appropriately so that you don't hide elements like we just did there. Adding chat to stream screen. I like that idea. There's some folks that don't. It's kind of, you know, a personal preference. For me, I like having it up for 2 reasons. One, you guys get to see things that have gone on before you join the chat. So like if I'm just joining my stream, or if I just joined Leo's stream or Brainboxer's stream, if I'm not a moderator for that stream, I don't see any previous chat. It's just blank for me. So your, so if I go to, will it work? No, it won't work. Okay, so if I go to somebody else's stream and I'm not a mod, I'm not going to see any history. If I put it in my stream, where you're actually seeing the video, like off to the side here on the left, where I have it all the time, you can see some of the other chatter. Like, okay, I joined the stream and I see that Brainboxers asked if I could overlap 2 videos to play in one. Okay, I'm not going to ask that question again because they already asked it. Or I can look at it later when the VOD's up. For BTTV stuff as well for phone users. Yeah, I like that stuff. I think it's really good engagement. Again, I'm not a big time streamer, so like my engagement's pretty minimal at the moment. But if you got your chat blowing up and stuff like that, and you want your viewers to be entertained, yeah, better TV, BTTV emotes are really good. I have a personal favorite one, and it's the one you see me using in Discord a lot frequently because it's great, and that's the browse one. That one there just shows up as a dog, and I think it's because I don't have it enabled here. Or did I just do it wrong? I think I just did it wrong. Is it capitals? Is that one? Yeah, it's all caps. I knew it was case sensitive. That one there, the little dog with his eyebrows going a mile a minute. Yeah, I love that one. So for that sort of stuff, like somebody made that and offered it to the internet for anybody to use. And I find that to be great. Like for me, I'll be 1,000 followers at the end of summer. Get out of here, dude. I'm at 129. I'm not going to beat 1,000. I appreciate your vote of confidence, but let's be real. No, thank you, Brain. I would be ecstatic if I hit 1,000 followers by the end of summer. That would be amazing for me. That would be a huge accomplishment. Stepping out of my comfort zone to do the streaming stuff and actually succeeding with it will be fantastic. That would be a huge milestone for me. Yeah, I love the viewer engagement. Things, if like for me, like if you guys have favorite emotes from better Twitch TV stuff, like let me know what it is and I will add it. I mean, adding emotes for BTV is very, very easy. I'm gonna put my music back on because it's a little quiet on my side, but so like let's go here. We'll go back to our browser and we go to Better TTV, and all we have to do to add stuff is we're signing in with our Twitch account. So you hit here, you go to side, add Party Kirby. So we will do just that because I don't think I had that added, Mexi, but we're going to do it live on the internet. So for this, once you're signed in, that's all you need to do. We go to emotes, we're going to go look for somebody. Party Kirby, because I love that one. Ooh, there's a lot of them. Holy shit, look at this one. Look at this guy here. Oh, he's seasoned out so hard. Okay, so we want this one because this is the one I remember using. This one's kind of the smoothest. So all we're gonna do is click it, and we're gonna add the channel, and now we have it on our channel. So for us, now this is personal plug, but it's my channel. Again, I will do what I want. If you go to my channel, I actually have a little point. Let me mute myself. Holy crap, that's annoying. I have a little part of my about section at the bottom here that actually shows the emotes that I have available. Can I email without being an affiliate? I think you can add the better TTV ones, Leo. If you're not affiliate, you can add the ones for better TTV to your stream chat, because it's just a setting through OBS and Streamlabs that does it. So when I just added a Party Kirby, Mexi, you see it popped up on my list here. So if you go in there and you type in, what is it? It's just Party Kirby with a capital P and a capital K. So we're going to do it live on the internet. Capital P, capital K. We now have Party Kirby, where we didn't before. For some weird reason, I had the other one, but didn't have this one. Okay. So, and that's it. You're adding it there. For you, though, you'll want to go to... so for like OBS stuff, we'll go back to OBS here. When you go to stream, and you go to your settings, you go to stream, right here, where it says Twitch chat add-ons. This is where you want to set that. It's probably going to be set to none. You want to set it to better TTV or Franker Face Z, whichever ones you're using, or if you want to just put both like I do. I don't think I have any Franker Face ones on there, but they might be the Twitch standard ones. I have them both set to on, and then hit OK. And then they will show up in your chat, much like they are right now. They'll show up in your chat. Most chat programs that have the overlay will automatically transpose those messages in there from chat. Yeah, that's it. All you're doing is log it in there. You add the emote that you want. It add the channel, and then it shows up. For me, I have this in here so that way people can see the ones that I've added. And if you want ones added to this list, all you have to do is let me know what it is, and I will add it to the list. I don't care how many I have. I'll add it until I run out of space. If there even is a limit, there might be a limit. But it also shows what emotes I have available. So my tier 1 emotes, so when you sub to me, you get access to these. You have the tier 2 and the tier 3 ones. Yep. Highlight over it, blob dance, and then you got blob dance. And what's cool about OBS, and this is what I found to be really cool, is if I go to my docs here and I open up my chat, I usually have this on the sidebar. I got rid of it because I got rid of it for this stream just so I wouldn't clutter up the real estate. But it didn't seem to matter because the screen size didn't change. But if you hover over it in OBS, it will show you what the name of that is. So it'll say what it is, it'll say what channel it came from, and it's a better TTV emote, or it'll show you if it's for my channel or somebody else's channel. So like I have a bunch of emotes from B-Rabbit. We'll use him as a example. We'll put one up for Amber Link, and then we will do our favorite B-Rabbit. B-Rabbit. So when you see these in chat and you're in OBS, like you can hover over them and see where they came from. So I've seen people come into my chat and use emotes I've never seen before that are just ridiculously awesome. And with that, you can find out where they came from. And then you go check out their stream later. Like, oh, this one came from someone I've never seen before. Let me go check out their channel, give them a follow, see when they're online next, see if I like them, and then sub to them so I get the cool emotes, right? And you support other people just by showing their emotes around. And if you're, savvy enough to look at it and see where it's coming from, you might find somebody really awesome on Twitch to follow. Not because of their emotes, but because they're an awesome person all around, right? OBS looks darker than what's actually playing on my TV screen when I play a game. Why could that be? So your TV, yeah, no problem. Your TV, Leo, was probably at a different setting. Now, when you're capturing display into your computer, it's taken the display at default. So it's not going to get all of the exact precise values that you've gotten from it. So like this background here that I'm playing currently on my scene, if I go to my main overlay here, actually we'll do it in here. We'll do it with this one. There are effects that you can add. So if you right click any source that you're doing, so if I'm doing, actually let's just do a display capture because I'll prove it right off the bat. So this will be my upper screen. You can see that I have a bunch of stuff. We're gonna do For capture method, if you're on Windows 10 or Windows 11, make sure you set this capture method to be Windows 10, 1903 and up. The reason why is if it's set to something else, you might get some sort of distortion, or it might not capture the entire scene that you're trying to create here. So for me, we're gonna do my big boy up there, the 4K monitor, and then we're gonna do it right there. Now you see that is kind of cut off. And this is where that Control F kind of works in. You hit Control F, and boom, it's full screen again. So you can see this is kind of a little darker than what it is showing, because this looks darker to me too, Leo. My screen that I'm actually looking at above my monitors has a little bit more lightness to it. So if you want to emulate that, all we have to do is click on our source here, the display capture source that we added, or wherever you're capturing this from. This could be game capture, this could be a media source like an MP4 file from your computer, it doesn't matter. Click on the filter, and then you click on the plus sign on the left here for your effect. Now this is where you can go and get your color correction filter, and this is where you're going to be able to mess with stuff. So you see how it's a little dark, we want it to be a little brighter, so maybe we increase the brightness just a little bit. Or maybe we don't like that it's that bright, but we want it to be less white. We can get rid of some of that whiteness and tone it down. Or maybe it's just the wrong color. Maybe the hue is off because you changed it on your monitor and it doesn't look right. You can also change the hue, give it a little bit of a purple texture, make it look different. You can make it a light show. We just do this all the time. Just do this for 6 hours a day, and then you'll have forearms size of pipes. So if we go to hue shift, we hit 0, and we hit OK. Now we've adjusted it. Now this looks a little bit more, maybe not what you see on your monitor, but you can get it close. You can make the adjustments here so it looks right. And also remember though, people are going to be watching your stream through their own monitor. So just because you adjusted here to look like what's on your monitor, I could have a different display. I could have a OLED display where you might have an LCD, or vice versa. You have an OLED display, and me as the viewer only has an LCD, or a CRT or something, and the quality is not going to be the same. So if you adjust it to be a little brighter, somebody might see this, right? Somebody might see a washed out white screen because the brightness is too high. So you don't know. Messing it around, it's like a double-edged sword. You mess around with the settings and you get it to look good for you, but it might look bad for your viewers. So kind of get that fine line. And also, if you ever make a mistake with the filters, you can just hit defaults and it reverts back. So if you mess something up hard, you can just hit defaults and you're done. Or you can just remove the filter altogether and it'll go back to nothing. And then it looks how it did when it first came in. The red border, I moved that entirely by accident. How to reset it? So if you do anything by accident, like if I move this over there by accident, but I haven't done anything after it, just hit Control Z and it pops up. It'll go right back to where it was before you messed it up. Another thing you can do, Leo, is there's these locks on the side of each one of your sources in your scene. You can just click the button and lock it. And now I can't move that anywhere. Thanks for alert, Amberlink. I made a mention of you a few times in this stream for your excellent quality work in video editing and Photoshop guru. Thank you for alert, Amberlink. If you have any questions, feel free to come back and answer or ask them. I'll answer them the best I can. That's what I'm here for today. So come on back. Yeah, Leo, you just lock them. Now you can't move them. How dare you mute me? No problem, dude. Have a good dinner. Tell the missus I said hello. Yeah, if you lock them, you can't move them. If you unlock them, you move them again. If you accidentally move it, just hit Control Z, and it goes right back to where it was. Assuming, if you go like this and then you go like that, obviously it's going to go back to the first position, and then you have to hit it again. So as many times as you moved it, and you want to move it back, just hit Control Z till it gets back to where you want it to be. I don't lock a lot of my things, only because I'm not usually in here messing around when I'm streaming. If I'm making changes or something, in between streams, or if it's a weekend and I'm not streaming, I'll be in here just messing around with stuff, seeing what does what. All right, what's next? Who's got another question? Brain, Mexi, E-Rabbit, Leo, keep thinking. I'm gonna pull up my browser thing and move that up here real quick because I can go back into some other stuff. There's our display capture up here, so you can actually see the display now showing the stuff. Working on that for hours yesterday. Yeah, and it's OBS and setting up scenes I find to be fun. Like, it's fun for me to do those things because I learn something each time I do it. What I've learned, as you can see from this whole setup down here, what has given me difficulty in OBS. So when I first started OBS, and this is not really like a testament to my knowledge in OBS now, but when I first started using OBS, it was hard for me to get scenes right. So like if I go to my gaming screen here, like I have this window, but I have nested stuff in here. Now the reason why I have it nested is so it's always the same no matter what I do. If I add something new to one of these scenes, it will always be in the right spot. And I'll show you exactly how I do that. So the difficulty that I had is when I wanted to add something new, getting it to fit where something else was a nightmare for me. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do it efficiently. Now I do. So we have, for me, what I do is I make a nested, actually, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this right now. I'm gonna build a scene from scratch. I will get rid of Knuckles because he can go away. And we'll get rid of the background only because we're gonna do it again. Okay, we're starting from scratch. I'll show you something stupid easy that I wish I knew before I started using OBS. So we're gonna add a new scene here. The new scene is going to be our NS, which is going to be short for nested, because I already have scenes that say nested and I don't want to delete them to start them over. And this is going to be our overlay. So this here is our nested overlay. This is where we're going to put all of our overlay mechanics. Our entire overlay is going to live here. So what we want to end up doing is we want to start by getting an image. This is going to be our game overlay image. This is something that I built in Photoshop. I just made pretty much a rectangle and I gave it some color. It sounds lazy, but it's very efficient. So inside of here, I already have overlay set up for streaming, so we will go there. I have a bunch of stuff here that I've set up in the past, but what we're looking for is the game overlay. Again, this is just a rectangle that I made. It's already at 1080p resolution, so it'll always be in the same place that I want it to be. And I'll kind of show that off after this. So we have our game overlay. We also want a background. So we're going to go ahead and get a media source. And I'm going to do this overlay. I'm going to do this in like brand new for you guys. I'm not going to use stuff that I already have like in OBS. Like I don't have already sources and stuff in there. I'm going to build new sources so you see the whole thing start to finish. We're going to browse and we're going to find that image that we wanted. So this is, let's say we'll just do this one here because this is the one I use anyway. We set this, we want that background, our moving background, to loop, obviously, because we don't want it to go away or stall in the middle of the stream. And then we'll hit OK. So now we have our background back. Obviously, it's skewed, so Control F will put it back into view and stretched out on the screen appropriately. We want that to be the back. We want it to be the very back of the scene because we want everything else to be overlaid on top of it. Obviously, like I said, the order in which you put your sources is crucial to how they're going to appear on screen. So for this we have our big ol' square here for our game. So our game is going to live inside of this. We also want to do is we want to add one for our chat overlay. So I'll add one in there, hit OK, and then we'll find our overlay file that we created. This one is another one that I built in Photoshop. It's just a rectangle and it has a darker fill, like a transparent dark fill on it with our chat box at the bottom saying this is our chat. Even though if anybody comes on my stream and they see the chat box there, they know exactly what it is. There's no real reason we can add that other than OCD kind of. So anyway, we have our chat overlay, our game overlay in there. Next we want to do a game capture. We want to be able to capture a game in there. So let me pull up something maybe quiet, right? You know what? No, I got a better idea. We're gonna move you up here. Okay, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use that. So what we have is we're gonna create a new scene. This is gonna be our game capture. Again, I'm not gonna capture a game. I'm gonna capture like a display. So bear with me on that. So this is our new scene, our game capture scene. And for our game capture, we want to capture something. And for us, that's going to be our display. We're going to capture we're going to call this game, not game. And then obviously, like I said before, we're going to go Windows 10 for a capture method. So make sure it captures the right depth and width of the actual thing that you're capturing. I've seen sometimes where it cuts off the edges if you don't select this. And then we're going to capture our big boy monitor up there. Obviously, it's off to the side. Control F to bring it back into view. And we don't want to... Obviously, we only want to capture the game. So if you hold the Alt key and click on one of these handles here, like one of these ones that are off to the side that do your resize, it will crop the image. So the image will stay still, but it will crop out the bottom. So we got that there, right? Now we've kind of got rid of that bottom part there. So now we have our window. We have it cropped out where we want it to be. Actually, what I'm going to do is we'll go back to our nested scene overlay, and we're going to add that scene in there. So we'll go back, hit the plus sign, go to scene, and then we'll scroll down to the game capture window that we just made. I see it takes up the entire screen, right? We don't want it to do that. So what we're end up doing is we're gonna pretty much scale it down, and we're gonna fit it in this box. We're gonna fit it nice and neat inside this box here. So that's as big as we can get it, like as a aspect ratio matched screen window. So the next trick is how Alt will do the cropping. Like if I hold Alt here and I do that, like it's less. So once you hit green, you're cropping something out, but if you hold it and match it out till it's red, it's no longer cropping anything, so you can tell that's the full window that you're getting. If you hold Shift, you can skew the entire image to be wherever you want it to be. So if you're holding Shift, you can drag and go up as far as you want. This is a little off because of the cropping, but we are just about there. So now we have it in the center there. So what's nice about that is now we can drag it below our game overlay, and now our overlay box keeps it in bounds, so it looks nice and clean. With that said, now let's say we're playing a different game. We're no longer playing Endwalker, the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy XIV, with a free trial up to include. I'm not going to go through the whole spiel. We go to our game capture. Now we want to do something else. We don't want to play that game anymore. Play something different. We can add another game, not game. Game totally not a game. So now I want to capture something else. Let's say our window here, our other monitor. Now we hit OK. Now we have another one. We make sure that it's in the bounds for this. We don't have to do anything now. We stretch this new source out from corner to corner on all four, and we're done. When we go back to our new scene, it's already in the bounds. Now the only reason why it's not there is because we cut out, but if I go back into our game capture, game out of game, and get rid of our crop here, there. We get rid of our crop. We just do it normally. So we have it inside of our bounds here. And all we're going to do is we're going to make sure that it's still in there. So we're just going to put it inside our bounds window. Nice and neat. So it's in there, all nice and cropped in. We'll do the same on the bottom. There we go. Clean. Now if I go to my game capture, and let's say I no longer want this, I want to use the other game, we're already done. We hide that source, and it's already in the bounds. We don't have to change a damn thing there. We just stretch it out into one scene, which is super easy by hitting Control F, and then it's already in the window when we go to our overlay. And this is the one thing that I wish I knew when I first started OBS, because getting that to fit in there every single time you went out a new game was nightmarish for me. But now that I know that I can just make scenes, how to read drop frames. So that's a weird one. That's one I'm not 100% sure of, and I've seen videos of it, people trying to explain it. Let me shrink this down. This is way too big. Okay, so we have our stats window here. Probably small for you guys, I apologize. However, what you're gonna see here is your FPS, your frames per second. For me, I stream at 60. If you're playing an older game, it might help to stream at 30 if you're having some sort of performance issues, keeping it at 60. But 60 seems to be pretty good. I love the sandwich, dude. I'm so hungry. So average time to render frame. Now this is your network performance. So this should be pretty low. You're gonna be okay if you're in like the 50s, but anything more than like 60 or 70 tends to start the show. But again, if you're the viewer, it's probably not bad, but if you're like the person streaming and you're doing like inputs. No, I have eaten. I just didn't eat as much as I probably should have. But seeing a friggin' hamburger like taunting me on the screen makes me hungry for a hamburger, always. Whether I need to eat it or not. So frames missed due to rendering lag. Now this number is going to be weird. It's going to like depend on whether you've been making changes to OBS, because it has to render it every time you make a change. So once it renders it, usually it's okay after that. This is usually done by network lag. So if it's rendering and then transporting it to your encoder, this is usually some sort of network lag trying to go through to Twitch. However, if you have skipped frames due to encoding lag, that's generally tied to your computer. That's not network related. If you have a lot of encoding lag drop frames, that means your graphics card or your processor can't keep up with what you're doing. You're either streaming at too high of a frame, or you're trying to play a game in maximum 4K resolution with ultra wide or epic settings on, and your computer can't handle it. It can't keep up. The computer's reading the drop frames that's normally in the bottom right. I see you took it out. Yeah, I don't look at it usually. For me, when I'm live, I have a little green box here that shows my bit rate. As long as that's green, I know I'm good, because the computer that I have can handle what I'm doing. I'm not doing a lot of extensive stuff. Like the most extensive thing I do on this computer is I play Final Fantasy 14 and I stream it on Tuesday nights. And that takes up some resources, but I usually have like 50% of my GPU resources available and almost all of my processing power is available. So I usually don't look at it. What I have done in the past when I had my previous computer, what was 8 years old, what I end up doing is I'll go to stats here and I will put it into this box here, drag it, and it'll lock into this little window and put a new tab. So you see you got our stats, I have my scene transitions here, which I don't really use yet, and I'm audio mixer. So if I think something's wrong, you just drag it in this box here and I just click on it real quick. Like, oh, I lost 137 frames today due to rendering lag, but I've produced 367,000 frames. So that's nothing. That's like 0.01%, which is not a problem. So then I don't have to look at it. I just go back to my audio mixer. I can continue doing my mutes and unmutes as I need to. But yeah, Leo, I took it out because I didn't need it. But early on, I thought I did, so I had it up there all the time. But as you stream more, you kind of realize what it is you can and can't do on your computer, and you just adjust from there, and you never need to look at the stats again. But if you're having problems, that's usually when I look at the stats. So if I see my bitrate drop and I want to know why, and if I see it's network related, I check my network. If my network's fine, everything's fine from my end, then okay, it's Twitch side. Nothing I can do about that, right? If it's encoder lag, it's your computer. So, yo, Specs. How you doing, man? OBS session? Yeah, dude, if you have questions about OBS, let me know. Type it in the chat here, man. I'll be happy to answer. It's all I'm doing today. I'm just answering OBS questions. If you got them, post them. I'll walk you through it visually as best I can. Right now, we're doing, we're just setting up a brand new scene. I'm kind of showing some things that I wish I knew. Brainbox asked a question, what has given me the most difficulty on OBS? And it's getting new things to fit within the bounds of what you already have. So what we're looking at here is my display capture that we have in here that we built a scene for. So where we ended up is we wanted to add a scene here, but we didn't want to keep messing with it. So when we add a new game, we add it to this new scene and we stretch it out to the full length of that scene's window. The only time we do an adjustment is in our overlay. We do it one time where we put that scene, we do a new scene here, and we add that game capture that we just made into here. Have you done image masking? I have not. I have not twiddled with that yet, and I want to do it eventually. It looks fun. I like the way that some of the effects make things happen. I've never touched it though, so it's going to be an experience for me as well. So once you get the box here fit into that bounds, you're done. Anything you add to that scene will automatically be in this box. You never have to adjust your main overlay again. It's always going to be there. So once we have the chat and stuff, we do the same thing. I just add a new browser source. I'm going to add the chat that I already have in here because I'll share that out later. So once we add the chat, we put it in the box and it's always there. So in order to avoid, like Leo had mentioned earlier about accidentally changing things while you're streaming, I don't lock anything, and I'll show you why I don't lock anything in a second. When we go back to our scene here, our main scene, this is going to be our scene that we do when we're actually streaming, like we're playing the game and we want people to see what we're doing. We do the same thing we just did. We add a scene, but we're going to add that new overlay scene that we just made. And now that scene that we built is in here in all of its glory. It's all done, ready to go. And all we have to do is hit that lock. Now you can never make a change to anything here. You can't accidentally kill something. It's all going to be here. And even moving this around, because we didn't lock that, is it. Like, if we're trying to mess with the overlay, we can't. If we want to lock this stuff, we can. And then we're done. You can't mess it up while you're streaming because you can't click on it to move it. Catch you in a bit, Specs. So that's what I've learned. That's probably a really long explanation, brain boxes, but that's what I learned. That, you know, from something that's given me the most difficulty in OBS, this has been night and day for me. You set one scene with everything you want to do bit by bit. You make the big old overlay, nested scene overlay, and then you nest another scene in it that has all of your game capture. I have a major question for now until I screw up something else. Yeah, it's usually how I learn. That's how I learn. I do something, I see if it works. If it doesn't work, why? and then I troubleshoot from there. Getting triggers to work was an experience for me. That was something that's new to me as of last week. I didn't have any redeems or anything like that that did something to the screen for people to do. That was something that I saw that Galax had, and I really love doing the technique one that he has. If you're ever in Galax's stream, just do !technique and tell him Cal sent you. What's that video editing website? It is called Lightworks. I will actually bring our screen back up here. It is called Lightworks. It is easy to use software. I'm not going to give you a whole spiel, but if you go to this site here, again, I am not as sponsored by them at all. Not a sponsor, just impressed is, I guess, the lingo that I would use. All you do is sign up, free account, and download the program. The program's free for 90 days, and then I think it's $10. I think the pricing was like $10 or something. I'm actually gonna hit that and then get out of it. So go up to the top here. There's probably a pricing thing. Comparison. No. Okay, so I lied. It's free forever, not for 90 days. But you get a 90-day free trial for Pro when you download it for the first time. So they give you 90 days for the Pro version, which is $24 a month, or $10 a month if you want to create. But this here, the free version, is good enough for what you need to do. It lets you be able to export video at 720p, and for me, using it on Twitch, I only stream at 720, so this is perfect. I don't need to worry about it. You have MP4 export that's included, which is excellent for YouTube. You can actually export your project right to your YouTube page if you wanted to. And Vimeo, which I don't know anybody uses, but I mean, obviously the more heavy hitters, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, like Instagram, those heavy hitter ones are under the paywall. However, you get a lot out of your not buck because you're not paying anything for the free version. It's more than what you need to do basic like video editing stuff. Like if you need to get a video and you need to edit it out, you saw how easy it was to edit that Trigun video. Again, I did a shit job with it, but you can see how easy it is to modify videos that you've just recorded. Again, not a sponsor. Just very impressed by a free software that does what it does a lot, maybe not all of, but does a lot of what Photoshop and Adobe Premiere use. Yeah, give it a try. I love it. I just found it last week, and I've been using it for all of my redeems. I love my anime stuff because I couldn't find a specific clip of one, so now I can just find a YouTube video and clip it. Exactly. You put that YouTube video in full screen, hit start recording, and grab it until you're done. Make sure that you, when you go to, and I think I may have mentioned this, but I might have did it in passing. When you're building your thing to record, make sure you mute your desktop audio, your headphones, and your microphone. That way no Windows sounds, no accidental coughs or hiccups or text messages to your phone that's too close to your microphone come into your video. Keeps it clean, and that way you don't have to record it again. The video editor that I use is Lightworks. I actually have a copy of Photoshop that I use, and that's kind of something else that I will I'll go through right now. Let me put my upper display on. So for the upper display here, what you see is I actually have Photoshop that I've had for years. This is probably the last version of Photoshop you could just outright buy. Everything else is now subscription based, so it's not worth it for me to do that because I don't use it often enough. But with this, this is where all of my overlay stuff lives. So if I go down here, I don't audio through settings for those that don't know how to. Yeah, I can show that. Let me go through this overlay thing here real quick while I have it open, and then I'll show the audio. So for me, Add Photoshop. Again, you can do this in Microsoft Paint for all that matters. It doesn't matter. The program doesn't matter. I just like using Photoshop because I find it to be easy to use. But again, I'm not trying to do the subscription base. I've had this for a really long time. I have all my stuff set in one spot. So all of my panels that I've done are all set up here. I also have all my text that I can get rid of. So if I want to get rid of something or want to make changes to something, I can easily do it on the fly. I just hide everything I don't want to see. So like if I just want the the chat box, I want to make changes to it, all I gotta do is keep that one up, make my changes that I want to do. Like if I want to just change the transform, not for that one, I want to change it for the chat box, I just go pre-transform, I drag it up to where I want it, and what you can do is you can put whatever other element you want in there. So if I want it to be as high as my, like it is now on my scene, you see the chat box overlay is the same size height wise as the game overlay. So I can actually put it up there on the screen and then do my edit transform here and then line it up at the top there. And now when it snaps in, I know it's the same size. And then all I gotta do is go hide the game overlay and then save it. File, save as. So what I'll end up doing, just so you can see, is I will grab my paint bucket here and I will change the color of this middle to blue. So my opacity, I'll change that down because I want it to be like a fill, 40. And then we will fill that in with a little bit of a blue. So see that the color will change when I do that. We're gonna save, we're gonna save as. We're gonna drag this down to PNG, and then we'll just do new overlay. Now, Photoshop is not free. You have to pay for it. I think there's a free trial, but it might be limited. But you can do this through Microsoft Paint or some sort of program like GIMP. They all kind of do the same stuff. GIMP's probably the better choice. GIMP is free, but Photoshop is not. But GIMP has a lot of the same tools and stuff that Photoshop does, so that one might be free. But I haven't used it in a very long time, probably gone maybe 6 or 7 years I haven't used GIMP, so I don't know much more about it. But once you save your chat box here, you see we saved it. I forgot what we saved it as, but if we go back to our overlay, and we go to our chat overlay, we go to browse here, and we want to change it. What do we save this as? New overlay, yes, because we're boring. And we'd open, we see that it changed. We hide our chat. We see that it now has a blue border to it. And it matches up perfectly with the top and bottom of our game overlay. All one spot. Because I keep all my overlay in one spot in our editor. And then when I go to make changes, I can easily match it up. And I don't need to do anything. Like the chat is self-contained by itself. Even though it's all in one spot, it's its own overlay. So we can move and modify it as we need to and just replace the file. The other cool thing is, with OBS, is you don't have to reload your image file. So like, I'm gonna go up here to our upper display and I'm gonna change this bad boy to be red. Really dark color of red. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make this a little bit bigger. There you go. So it's red now. Clear as day, it's red. And then I will go and save it as the same exact file. We'll go to PNG, scroll down, hit new overlay, hit save. And now when I go to save that, I'll switch back over. You'll see that OBS will actually update it on the fly. There you go, now it's red. So it updates on the fly. You do not have to go back in and put the new file in there. As long as you overwrite that file when you save it, it will automatically pick up the changes. Pretty near instant too. Okay, so let's go back. let's grab our original chat one, so we're back in order. Now, Leo, your question is, can you show how to add audio through settings? Yep. So, whatever you're going to add here, like you see my overlay background is on here, but we're going to add a song. We're going to add a media source here. So if you just want to add some sort of music, we're going to do music here, and then pick a file. Any file that we got. For me, streaming, and music. Everybody loves this song, so we'll use that one. Hit open. So this is automatically, media sources will automatically show up in your audio mixer. So as soon as I hit OK, it's going to show up as our music here. And as we said before, we go to Advanced Audio Properties, and we want to hear that music ourselves. We're just going to set it to monitor and output. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause my music playing in the background so you guys can see. Party Kirby! So now we have audio. It's already added. And I don't know how we got that up, but anyway. So we have our window here with all of our stuff set up. This is Streamlabs off to the side on my other monitor. That's because I need to use Streamlabs to stream so I can stream OBS and make changes to OBS while I'm doing this whole stream thing. So I don't usually use Streamlabs. I don't like it. I think OBS is better. Personal preference. I'm not, again, not sponsored. OBS just does a really good job at making stream software. So we'll go back and I'll show that. I think did I misread your question? I'm going to game capture here, and I'm going to remove this one. So we'll go back to that. Okay, so talk about OBS settings, because like for myself, my game audio doesn't show up through sources. I had to do mine through settings. So there's a good reason for that, and it's probably a twofold question. So I'll answer one, and then I will need to go get another drink because I'm almost out of water. And then I'll answer the other half of that. So the first course might be because you're not capturing it through the same source. So if you have a HDMI captured device or something like a Elgato HD60, or maybe have a USB to HDMI capture device thing plugs in your USB port. I don't know how you're capturing it. You're welcome to tell me how you're capturing your game video, like what you have your setup plugged into, and I kind of answer it better. But there's two ways of doing it. Now for me, I have Discord stuff set up. So for me in settings, if I go to audio, you have these global audio devices that are available to you. So for output settings, I have my Xbox controller plugged in, and I have headphones plugged into that. That's how I get my Discord audio into my ears while I'm streaming, or while I'm playing games in general and I'm talking on Discord. So what I do is I set desktop audio, the first one, to be my speakers. This is pretty much my whole computer sound coming out of this, like the music that I'm playing, all the audio I'm playing, the game audio that I'm playing, all comes through my desktop. If I want Discord audio to come through, but I want to be able to separate it, because sometimes I want to mute Discord background chatter while I'm like talking to chat. So what I was doing when I was streaming Final Fantasy 14 is I have a hotkey that I mute myself in Discord, and then I mute the source down at the bottom. So I want that to come in separate. So all my Discord audio comes through headphones that are plugged into my Xbox controller. So for desktop audio 2, I'll set that as whatever the source is. So you might be different by doing it through your capture device or something. For me, it's just the headphones. So I select the headphones, hit OK, and then it shows up here, right here in the sidebar here. This is my headphones, and I can mute it and unmute it as I need to at any given point. So if I want to mute Discord chatter that's going on so I can talk to chat about things that are happening, I can mute them so they don't hear them. So you're only hearing my voice and the game. I can also cancel out desktop audio if I want, and I can just cut that completely. So this is my speakers, this is my headphones where Discord audio comes from, and this is my microphone. So if we go back to settings, go back to audio, you have 3 other microphone style ports. Now these ones could be whatever else. So for the microphone here, if you're capturing your game through Elgato's HD60 like I have plugged into my computer, and you're not using HDMI, so if you're using the other stuff that you can use for it, so it's like composite video or something, or your audio is coming out from somewhere else, like your TV doesn't send, your console doesn't send out the audio with the HDMI because it's an older format, you can set it here. Now when game capture comes through your Elgato or your capture card, you can set the microphone here, so when audio comes through there, it shows up. So if I hit apply, you see that the mic audio 2 comes in. So when you have your mic audio 2, you get it popped up here. So this is all the stuff that comes through the Elgato card. All in one spot. You can mute it, unmute it, anything you need to. Obviously it's not playing music right now or any sound, so you can't hear anything, but that's pretty much how I do it. And Leo, if you have questions, ask it here. You can post it in Discord. We'll help you. Not a problem. Just post your question. Show some pictures of your setup, because that helps more than, you know, talking about it. At least I know I'm a visual guy. Like, I like to see things. You know, so if you post pictures, it's a lot easier for me to figure out what's going on. And then we can definitely help you. If I don't know the answer, I'm sure somebody else in the Discord does. Yeah, audio. If you're trying to get it from a capture device, it's probably going to be a microphone audio. You can set it in separately from here. I have it disabled because I don't do anything with it. Okay, and I'm going to go back to our regularly scheduled music. Okay. Alright, and I think we're good. Alright, anybody else have any other questions? I don't know how long we've been streaming for. What time is it? 8 o'clock? We've been streaming for a couple hours. It's not bad. Anybody else have any other questions? Anything they want me to show them? The setup. I didn't go get water because I think that question was kind of a two-parter. Didn't really need a two-parter. I kind of explained both in one, so I think that made it easier. But if anybody has any questions, I'm going to go refill my water. So please ask your questions in chat here, and I will read them as soon as I get back. And if not, then when I get back, we can find someone to raid. Either way, I will catch you guys in a few minutes.
Whispers falling silently drift on the wind, but I hear you on a journey. Now a memory fading from sight, but I see you unbroken. Promises we made so long ago. You're still here, unspoken. Requiem for a river of tears, flowing, winding toward eternal sea. And yet our hope remains.
Okay, I am back. Let me catch up on what's going on. I don't need this anymore. That can close. Lightworks, I don't need that. I need this. Need some music. Okay. It's an outer capture card. It has a mic and headphone jack. Okay, so that is exactly what I showed the second time. What you want to do, go to your settings, go to audio, and then that you want to make sure that your capture card, you plug the microphone and the headphone into the right jack of your computer. So there's a microphone jack and there's a headphone jack. The headphone one's usually green. The mic one's usually like a purple or like a light red. You plug it into the right ports of your computer, and then it will show up here in your mic and auxiliary audio slots. So exactly what I said. So my game capture HD60 for the Elgato one, you just click on wherever your capture is coming from. So if it's a microphone, it'll probably have its own list. If I can open up the one that I have on my computer, maybe sound settings. Nope, that's not it. Where is it? Sounds? Sounds. Nailed it. Okay, so if you, at the bottom right of your screen, you'll see your little arrow for your taskbar. There should be an audio icon. Kind of looks like a sound logo, like one of these guys. If you hit the recording tab, you'll see all of your devices listed. So all you're gonna do is find the one. So I have two microphone jacks that I'm not using. One of these is probably gonna be plugged in, and that's the one you're gonna want to use. You just got to figure out which one it is. So play a game, let it come through the capture card, see the green bars moving on the ones, like the one that's got my voice moving now a little bit, and then that's what you're gonna set. You'll just set it in here, and then you'll hit OK. Your other question, is there a way for them to not pop up in each source? Yes. What you can do is, so like I have music playing here, right? So there's music playing. I'm going to pause it. You see the popped up in the list. All you have to do is right click it and hide it. That's it. You right click and hide. If you accidentally hide something, like I hide my microphone for some dumb reason, you can just right click, unhide all, and then just hide the one that you wanted. You can even, if you do mess up like that, and you do not do it, you can always go to Advanced Audio Properties and go to Active Sources and uncheck the box, and it'll show. It'll show up in this list. So we had one labeled music. So we scroll down the list. I think they're in alphabetical order. You'll see your music one says active, and then it's here. So you can always change it from this setting if you accidentally hide it and you don't want to see it again. Or if you hit it and you want to make adjustments to it while it's hidden, you can do it through this, the Advanced Audio Properties setting. Otherwise, yeah, you just right click it, like the background's not playing any audio, so there's no point in it being here. We just right click and hit hide. I did them through OBS settings. Audio goes through each source, which I do not want in the future. So when you set it up through OBS settings, it will give itself its own list. So if we go back and we do the capture card here, we hit OK, you'll see that it will pop up in our list. So it's mic audio 2, which we can right click and rename to game capture. It's already in use. Of course it is, because that's a relatively used name. Game-capture. Capture. It's game capture now. Okay, I can type. So it comes up as its own source. So if you do not want that to be in your scene, right? So if I'm in my starting soon screen here, you just do that. You just mute it. That's it. It's going to be muted everywhere else too. At the same time, you see it's muted in every scene from there on out. So when you go back to your PC gaming screen, or in our case, our new scene here, you see that it's listed. I'm gonna actually mute that. And all we have to do is unmute it. And then when you're back in your PC game, hit the unmute button and you're done. It'll come back up in full audio. So you have control over it, and it will stay between scenes. You can hide it, and that'll stay hidden between scenes as well. So if I hide the game capture here, I said if I hide the game capture here, it should stay hidden. Yeah, it stays hidden on all of my other scenes too. So it's global. It doesn't appear anywhere else. Our misspelling of the word capture is gone from history until you hit unhide all, and then it pops back up. Yeah, so Leo, that's probably where it's coming from. You just have to set it up in the mic section, but make sure your cables are plugged into the right ports. There's icons on the ports on your computer, so you can just look and shine a flashlight on it. It'll be a picture of a microphone. You just plug it into that slot. The only way to do that is by muting it if I've done through settings. Yes, you have to mute it through here. I think there's also a way to do a hotkey for it. So if you go to settings and then we go to hotkeys, we can find our thing. So we just do capture because we suck at spelling. Game dash cup. Where are we at? Oh boy. Here we go. No, it doesn't have anything. Never mind. You can't do a hotkey. Yeah. I thought you could do a hotkey with that. I don't think you can. You can only do it for the sources itself. So if I wanted to turn on and off music, so like if I went to hotkey, if I want to turn on and off music, I can set hotkey for that. But I can't set it to mute and unmute a global source like that. You'd have to do it manually through the button here. I had more questions and my brain wasn't fried. No, that's fine, dude. There's going to be more of these OBS workshops that I'm going to be setting up like this. It seems I got a pretty good outcome of people here watching and learning. And I think as time goes on, Arcadia will grow. It'll be a big, large community of people all trying to accomplish the same goals. So there'll be new people in there that haven't seen this stream today that will want to learn the same sort of knowledge. So I'm sure there'll be more questions. There'll be more days that I'm doing this. I'm glad you guys liked it and it was helpful. I was worried that there wasn't going to be any questions or that no one was going to show up. Always a fear that you have while streaming. Like, are people actually going to show up to what it is you're offering? But thank you guys. I'm glad you all were here. I'm glad you guys learned some stuff. I will try my best to learn more things. Yeah, B-Rabbit shocked the hell out of me. Not like anything against B-Rabbit. B-Rabbit's an awesome guy. I love him to death. I'll do anything for him. But B-Rabbit shocked the hell out of me because he started off his journey like not knowing anything about the streaming world. Nothing about Twitch other than what he's seen from Matty Braun. Nothing about OBS. Nothing about Streamlabs. Nothing about setting up alerts and stuff. And that man has learned. He has done all the work in the world to make his stream the way it is today. And leaps and bounds just learns insanely fast. So, like, if I don't know the answer, B-Rabbit may have done it. B-Rabbit has done it, Amber Lake may have done it. Like, you don't know. We have people here that know OBS, they know how to do the video editing stuff. Like, there's a plethora of people here with all sorts of talent. Very, very good community people we have available to us today. Again, I'll be doing these more often. Maybe not. It's not going to be like a weekly thing, but I'll draw interest from people periodically to see if it's something. I'll do the same thing. I'll post to my announcement channel. I'm doing my best not to like flood that. Yesterday was an exception where we had someone, we were trying to do one schedule, but then a schedule change happened. So I posted like 3 times with an arcade member's roll call out. So I apologize for that. I'll try to not do that 3 times in one day. But I'll do the same thing. I'll post to my announcement channel. I'll gauge interest. If I get another, another time I post that and I see 11 people say yes, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna set one up. But yeah, maybe be like once a month, once every other month. Like, you know, I'll try to learn new things that I haven't done. I'll try, like, you'll see new stuff popping up on my screen when you're watching my streams. Like, like the toaster pop-ups I learned how to do. But that's a little bit more of a time-consuming thing. That's not really a OBS basics. If you're trying to get, like, these things that I'm setting up now are things where you need to have, like, the resources available to do it. And if you don't, then it just makes your stream suffer. So this is pretty much my overview of how to get OBS up and running for your very first stream. So yeah, we'll do this again in the future. I really enjoyed doing this, and I'm glad you guys all did too. I need to fix Discord audio stuff because I have mine set up like Maddie, where I play Discord conversation to my speaker, my alerts, and my TV screen. Yeah, I always do it through headphones. I always have Discord audio going through headphones. Maddie's got a really, really nice microphone that like just doesn't pick up anything other than his voice. Even when he's like in the bathroom, like it picks up his voice when he yells, but it does not pick up the audio that's right next to it coming from behind it through his computer. Like very solid microphone choice by him. Like him and Amberlink have really good quality microphones. Mine's a decent quality microphone. Is probably not on the level of them, but as you can see, my voice is coming in pretty clear, I hope. I hate the sound of my voice, but I'm starting to get over that. But it doesn't pick up anything. I have music playing in the background. Like actually, the music that you're hearing from the lo-fi channel is music that's coming through my speakers, which are probably 7 or 8 inches away from the microphone, and you're not hearing any of it. But I can hear it clearly. So there's microphones out there that are good. Maddie's got a really good one. Like if you're looking for like really good quality microphone, what he's got is good. I think he has it in his profile page. But yeah, like find a good mic. Find one that's like only one direction. Like the one that I have, I can actually make it so I can put this in the middle of like a conference table or something. But I don't know. My next microphone's not going to have that, so I'm going to go from one direction. Save myself the trouble of having to like change settings. But yeah, what we're gonna end up doing now is we're gonna find someone to raid, because there's some good people on right now that I don't usually get to raid on Saturdays, because I don't usually stream Saturdays. Usually it's my day to like sit in sweatpants all day and be fat on the couch and eat snacks. So we're gonna see who's on. We're gonna see who's around. Anybody has recommendations, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I already know who I'm going to read. And it's one of our own from Arcadia, Galax RPG. Fantastic person. I love this guy. I met him on Twitch, I think a few months ago. No, a little more than a few months. I think it was like 4 or 5 months. And this dude, like, I don't know, me and him clicked pretty easily. Like, he was a real good person. He had all the good thoughts in the world. So, Leo, you can redeem the raid channel point next time, and we'll raid whoever you want as long as you redeem the points. That's how we do here. We are going to raid Galax tonight because he's doing the 3-heart challenge for Majora's Mask, and this man is like determined. Like, he's got such determination to beat this game with 3 hearts that it's insane. Like, the amount of respect I have for this guy is unheard of.
Wait, how close do I gotta get to you, bro?
And yeah, Leo and everybody else, if you look through my channel points, there is a choose the next raid redemption. Don't do it now because we're already raiding somebody, but you can redeem it on any one of my streams, one time per stream, and you can choose who I raid. It doesn't matter who it is, you pick, and we'll go there. Make sure, obviously, it's somebody of quality. Like, don't bring me to a stream that's like somebody yelling and screaming curse words for 3 hours against like talking about people's moms and stuff like that. Like, just
through the heart,
did you pick no appropriately, right? Something that you would want someone to see.
I hate that.
Thank you guys. I'm glad that all of you guys came in and had a good time and learned some stuff. We are going to raid Galax now. Let me know. Hit me up in Discord. If you have any other questions, I have the tech channel down there for me, Starport tech stuff. So if you have questions about streaming, let me know. I'll do my best. If there's an overload of questions at one time, maybe I'll get another video in and I'll do another stream with it. And then I'll be able to walk you guys through stuff visually. I'll do my best. Thank you, everybody. Hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. Our raid message is Starport has arrived. You're welcome to do whatever emote you want in front or behind it.
Ha! Caladius! The Starport has arrived. Caladius, dude, how are